The world sucks. There's never been a point in the history of the world where it didn't suck. Back when the earth was a rock, before algae, before fungi, it sucked being a rock. When there were dinosaurs eating one another, being hit by meteorites, etc., it sucked. It sucked to be a tree, just living as a tree and dying as a tree. And it sucked to be in the Middle Ages, before toilets, throwing the crap out in the streets. It sucked to be, caught in the feuds of different rival kings, taxing, stealing your stuff, raping your wife. It sucked, right? And it sucks today. It sucks today for the joke that's called criminal justice that wastes a lot of people's time and money and does not restore the actual wrongs being committed. The joke called education that doesn't prepare you for life, let alone being happy. And, it sucks to have corrupt government, writing ridiculous laws, often to please some corporation or other with misguided intentions. It sucks to be alive today, living an ordinary life. But here's the thing. The question is what to do, right? Let's imagine back when we were a rock, when life on Earth was a rock. It sucks being a rock. So what do? If you destroy the rock, then you never get to have algae, right? If you destroy the algae, you never get to have trees. If you destroy the trees, you never get to have flowers. You never get to have food. If you destroy the Middle Ages, it sucks, having these marauding bandits come in through town, stealing stuff. You just grew enough crops for your family, and they come in and steal it. Then the plague comes, and this comes. It sucks, right? So, but at any point in history, if we destroy life as it is, it stops getting better. So it sucks to be alive today, but we have an internet where I can complain about life sucking. You can listen to it and disagree. That didn't exist 500 years ago. And 500 years from now, there is going to be a whole host of new technology that you and I haven't even imagined. And with all of that stuff, life is gonna suck. Right? With all that AI, with all of those flying cars, with all this stuff, just like life sucks today. Now, 1,000 years ago, if you showed someone a cell phone and said, 1,000 years from now, there's going to be cars, there's going to be convenience stores, there's going to be bits of paper called money, there's going to, the average person is going to have a job making, thousands of dollars, and there's going to be shipping containers and clothing from around the world, and everyone will have a smartphone, and they'd say, wow. No, I can't believe it. No, it's too good to be true. Never going to happen. Right? There's going to be planes flying over. Can't be done. Right? It's too good. Right? But if my life could be like that, it wouldn't suck. Right? If my life could be getting on a plane and seeing different parts of the world and not getting scurvy and not getting gout, drinking, right? Having more sex, oh my goodness. Right? Having an app where you could just text someone, do you want to have sex, right? And they say yes, right? And you go off and oh my goodness. No, it can't be done. Right? 1,000 years ago, it couldn't be done. But if it could, oh, life would be so amazing. And here we are. Here we are in that amazing, unbelievably, meaning no one would believe it. Even 200 years ago, even 100 years ago, they wouldn't believe in cell phones. Now, today, that's our life. And we say, oh gosh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to hear what so-and-so has to say. I don't want to get into that car and drive in traffic. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to talk with this. Life sucks, right? But, right? 500 years from now, when cars are flying, when this and this and this, oh, then that's where I want to live. But reality is right now. And if right now stops to exist, there is no future. 1 trillion years from now, the future's playing out, the possibilities playing out in the mathematical probability and possibility field are so extraordinary. They're beyond, we can't understand them, we can't believe them, we can't imagine how great it is. It was great going from non-existence to the universe beginning. That was pretty great. It was great forming dust clouds and gaseous clouds and different minerals composing. It was great when the universe just started expanding at this enormous rate. It was great when rocks formed. It was great when algae formed. The entire history of life has gone from non-existence to the vastness of the universe today with trillions of planets. And even if you say, I don't know, it's beyond my pay grade, 50-50, trillions of 50-50s. If you had trillions of blackjack games going on out there, wouldn't you believe that anyone got a straight flush? Trillions of blackjack, There's trillions of planets out there. They discover more trillions every single year or two, right? Before it was 1 billion planets capable of producing life. Well, then it's 1 trillion. Well, then they discovered 2 more trillion. And that's just in the last few years, right? In another 1,000 years, they'll probably have 1 trillion planets capable of producing human life. And, even if it's all 50-50, right? Or 1 in a million chance, right, that life could emerge, or 1 in 1 billion, right? Well, if you've got 1 trillion planets all out there producing life, all of them evolving, right? Maybe they had dinosaurs too and got replaced by, something else. Life gets better, but the thread, right? The end of the thread, right? On the other side of the rainbow, the pot of gold, right? The future, the eternal vision, the ideal. That thread is connected through time all the way back to the first opening of the universe, all the way back to this moment, meaning if this moment that sucks doesn't exist, then every single amazing moment that comes on the other side of this moment also cannot exist, right? So what's our role, right? Because everyone throughout history, monkeys, a lot of the monkeys, life sucked, right? They tried to have sex with that, the alpha male, pushed them out of the way. Oh, this sucks. So what's our job in this life that on the one hand, it has always sucked? Maybe it sucked to be a rock, maybe it sucked to be a tree, but it's always getting better, right? Ups and downs, this gets better, then that gets better, right? But over time, life gets bigger, longer, more complex. The possibility field expands in all directions. So it gets better, it gets worse, it gets hotter, it gets colder. gets nearer, gets further. The possibility field expands in all directions, heading out from the center. Well, we're given this moment in time. We're given this iteration of life. And what successful life does, and 99% of life disappears, is consumed by the most successful forms of life. What successful forms of life do is they iterate. They take what sucks and they make it 30 to 50% less sucky. And then they continue. That pattern continues. And as long as the next iteration, the next generation, makes life 30 to 50% better than the last iteration, than the last generation, that's all that matters. 99% of all species in the history of species are extinct. They have been consumed by more sophisticated, more intelligent forms of energy. Right? We eat a carrot, but a carrot doesn't eat us. The less sophisticated forms of energy are consumed by more sophisticated forms of energy. And so life grows. So as long as we take whatever it is that we're given, maybe we're given a country with 50% illiteracy. Well, if we work in our sphere of interest to bring that 50% illiteracy down to only 25% illiteracy, right? A 50% improvement, then life sucks 50% less. And if we're successful in picking the right goals, illiteracy to literacy, traumatic illiteracy to traumatic awareness, right? Sociopathic behavior to empathic behavior. If we pick the right goals, if we set our hearts, our minds on beauty, truth, and goodness, and we take a world that absolutely sucks, and we make it 50% less sucky. If we take a world that's okay and we make it 50% better than the okay that we began with, we are part of life. We're part of the winning streak within life that continues eternally to make things better. And if we're part of life, part of the raw material of life that says, oh, it's hopeless, it's pointless, nothing can be done, then we will be consumed by the part of life that's trying to make things 50% better. And life will continue as it has done from its origin billions of years ago. It will continue and continue. The best parts of life, the dreamers, the visionaries, the creators, will continue to recycle, to take what was and make it into something better, more beautiful, more true, more good, more excellent, more efficient. And life will expand. Right? And the purpose of the feeling, life sucks, is to motivate us to do something about it. Right? Because the secret of life, the reason that the universe is as big as it is, the reason that life is as complex as it is it never stops. Life never says, this is it. It can't get any better. Now, idiots do this from time to time. There were a group of scientists roughly 100 years ago, all the scientific inventions, they've all been made. There's nothing left to invent. Nothing left to do, right? But those fools are quickly replaced by people that say, no, we're just getting started. We haven't even begun, right? So whether we're at the pinnacle of all that has been or the seed of all that will be in the next trillion years, our thread, the thread in life that will continue, is the thread that takes what is and makes it 50% better. If you can do that with your marriage, You take the marriage that is and make it 50% better. If you can do that with your health, the health you were given, and make it 50% better. If you can do that with your ignorance, you were given this amount of ignorance, and you reduce your ignorance by 50%. Right? If every 100 years life gets 50% better, then the future of life is bright. And we've played a role as part of the 1% that made it. 99.9% of all possibilities are not here in this moment. 99.9% of all probabilities are not here in this moment. 99.9% of the life forms that were present 1 billion years ago are not present in this moment. We are part of the 1% that has been given the code of life. And if we take that code and rework it and remove inconsistencies and inefficiencies and give it forward to life, 50% better, then we are part of the thread of the expansion of the whole, of the code that turns life into more life and into more life on the endless quest of beauty, truth, and goodness. The dreams, the ideals we always have aspired to as conscious beings, to make things a little bit better.